hold this stock forever? If your biggest stock dropped 50% tomorrow, would you still hold it? Many investors say that they are long-term investors until their discipline is tested. So, what actually gives someone the conviction to hold a stock for 10, 20, 30 years or even more? Hi, I'm Joanna, co-founder of The Smart Investor, and with me here is my fellow co-founder, David Kuo. You might have seen him on various news platforms such as Money FM or Channel News Asia. So, David, what happens if your biggest stock drops 50%?
Okay, first of all, you have to understand why share prices go up and why they go down. Share prices go up because there are more buyers than there are sellers. Share prices go down because there are more sellers than buyers. That is the basic premise of how the stock market works. It goes up and down constantly. In certain times, when there is a lot of uncertainty, share prices can be a lot more volatile. So they can go up a tremendous amount, they can go down a tremendous amount. So you first of all have to understand why the market does what it does. Secondly, you ask me, would I hold a stock for 10, 20, 30, or in my case, forever? And the simple answer is yes. First of all, you have to understand why you bought a stock. If you don't understand why you bought a stock, then of course volatility is something that will affect the way that you think about the market, because you are constantly looking at the share price and say, oh, did I buy at too high a price? Should I sell at the moment? But if you understand why you bought a stock, then volatility can actually be your friend rather than be your enemy.
Why?
Okay, so let's say you buy a stock because of the income that it can generate.
Okay.
As an income investor, I'm interested in the dividends that the shares can deliver. Now, if volatility is not going to be affecting the dividends in any way, and oh, by the way, today is Friday.
Yes.
Can you hear that?
I heard ka-ching.
Okay, that was another dividend check that fell into my
So that was it. Okay.
Okay, so do I really care whether or not the stock price is high or low? The answer is yes to a point, because when the share price drops, which you can do in uncertain times, it gives me an opportunity to go and buy more.
Okay.
Because the more I buy, the more income I will get in 3 months, 6 months, or in a year's time. And that really is why I don't really care that much about the volatility. In fact, the only reason I like volatility is because it can give me the opportunity to buy something at a better price.
Okay, when a stock drops 50%, you hold. But what separates panic from stubbornness from then in that situation?
Because I know what I am buying. So if I don't believe that the volatility in the market is going to affect my fundamentals, the reasons why I bought a stock in the first place, then I don't think, the share price volatility is going to affect, even if it drops, say, 50%. Let's say it drops 70%. Because there is so much panic in the market. And if I believe that the company is going to continue to deliver, why would I care? Let's say I buy shares in a food and beverage company,
Okay.
which is one of my favorite holdings at the moment, all kinds of food and beverage companies. Does the share price drop reflect the way that the company is going to be operating? Does what is happening over, say, in the Middle East going to affect how much soya milk you are going to drink, Joanna? No. No, I'm answering on your behalf. No, it isn't. So why would I care? So if the share price were to drop, I know that the volume of soya milk that this company is going to be selling is not going to be affected in any way. So why wouldn't I go out and buy more? Really, buying shares is in some ways not that different to going into the supermarket. You know that during Chinese New Year, certain produce are more expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. So things like meats and vegetables tend to be slightly more expensive. And so what you try to do then is to say, let's try and avoid some of the things that are more expensive at the moment. So let's take, for instance, pork. Pork tends to go up in price at this time of year. Well, during Chinese New Year. So don't buy so much pork. Yeah. Go and buy something else that is cheaper.
Everything is expensive during Chinese New Year.
Not everything is expensive. You can buy a lot of tin produce that are a lot cheaper. You can buy chicken that is still actually quite inexpensive. So you have to adjust the way that you buy.
Okay.
So you have a look at your portfolio and you say, I am planning to invest, say, $3,000, $5,000 into the stock market.
Right.
I want to invest that every month. If the stock prices were to fall, then you would say, right, this is a great time to go in and buy some more because I'm actually getting more for the same dollar that I'm going to be spending.
what gives you the conviction to hold for so long? But if the stock price, let's say it doesn't drop, but it goes nowhere, it stays flat, or it goes up like a couple of percentage points over the years, what then makes you still hold on to that particular stock?
Because I know it is a good company.
Right.
Just because you buy a share and you don't expect the share price to rise. Remember what Warren Buffett once said about buying a stock? He said you should be comfortable buying a stock knowing that the market may close for the next 5 years.
Okay.
So if the market closes for the next 5 years, there's going to be no indication about the share price of that particular business. And so when you buy the stock, what you are looking for is the company going to be generating profits. In other words, is the earnings per share going to be rising? And number two, are the dividends going to be increasing or staying the same or rising? We go back once again to why did you buy the stock in the first place?
Right.
So if I buy a stock because of the dividend yield, if I think that the dividend yield is going to be, say, 4%, which means that it is generating $4 for every $100 that I invest in the company, that's fine. I'm going to be getting $4. Now, if the dividends don't increase or the share price doesn't move, I'm still going to be getting $4. Why do I care about the share price?
Okay, so in conclusion, we don't need to react constantly to every single share price change. We look at the business, the fundamentals, fair prices, and have lots and lots of patience. Would I get that right?
Absolutely. I think if you are an investor, you have to be patient and you have to understand why you bought a particular stock. You know, Joanna, that a long time ago, I bought shares in a Hong Kong property developer.
Yes.
And I said that this property developer was undervalued. And I looked at certain metrics, such as the price to book. And I said, this company, what you are buying, for every $100 that you spend on this company, the amount of assets that this company has is just grossly undervalued. Take a trip out to Hong Kong and go and have a look at the properties that this company owns. And you would say, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is ridiculously cheap. So you just continually buy more. There is nothing wrong with the company. The company is generating cash. So unlikely the company is going to go bust tomorrow. And so you just sit and wait. And eventually the market will come to you rather than you go to the market. The market will realize that this company is undervalued. And of course, sure enough, the share price starts to rise.
I was about to ask you for the conclusion, but
Well, the share price starts to rise, but you have to be patient. And the share price could continue to fall. But why do I care? The more it falls, the more I buy, because I know that the company is stable, that the company is robust, and the company is generating cash, and it is not going to go bankrupt tomorrow.
okay. Thank you, David. If you found this useful, subscribe to our channel.